mass of Mount Everest. And it's a ball of plasma. It's coming at Earth, and they generally travel just below light speed. They'll cover 93 million miles in 14 hours or less. Well, these three CMEs come hurling in at us, and they came 93 million miles away, and they were going to hit us dead center. Then we have a word we use in science when we can't explain something: phenomenon. Something bumped them. Something. I don't know what. And I'm opened up to any suggestions because it's a phenomenon. We don't know. But these things just deflected a little bit, but it was enough. But they passed so close when they went by, they were between us and the moon. They were only 110,000 miles away.
That's very extremely close when you're talking about these things.
When they come from 93 million miles away and they pass by only 110,000 miles, something bumped these things.
You were given an explanation though recently. Can you talk about that, of what possibly, how we avoided this catastrophe?
In a panel I was on recently for Antarctica, Linda Moulton Howe said she had some whistleblowers that said there was a big ship out there that deflected the things. I wasn't there, so I don't know, but sounds good to me. All I know is something caused these things to deflect right at the last minute. And how serious was this? This story wasn't released until 2 years after the event. It happened in 2012. It wasn't until 2014 that the press even talked about it. But if you do the math, this is really interesting. If those three CMEs hit on July 23rd, 6 months later, probably the last human being would have died on the planet because everything would have been gone and sun's blotted out. And that last person would have died probably on December 21st, 2012. The Mayans were right. We should have died. Something intervened, something, I don't know what. But that CME event did occur. It's not BS. It really happened, verified by NOAA, NASA, and about a dozen other countries that saw it, was mapping it in. This is a real event.
Do you have any technologies that you're aware of that could have pulled this off?
Not that I'm aware of. And for them to just change course without seeing any flash or any physical, currents out there, no, I don't know what did it. I was thinking of, Mr. Spock and the Enterprise, may have came in. Something happened that caused it to change course. But that day is also interesting is because it was so quiet on the news level. Nothing mentioned about any of this. And that's a major,
Who knew about it in this compartmentalized section? Just NOAA?
No, the entire federal government knew. They were having open house at Mount Weatherby. So they were moving in with their families, and they're going to close the doors and let us burn. I mean, our government's just the lowest scumbags you could meet. They wasn't even going to tell us about it. Why? Because they didn't want you panicking, be on the roads, and they couldn't get to Mount Weatherby.
Right. You want to talk about Mount Weatherby?
Well, Mount Weatherby is a huge underground facility that's designed to save Congress and the Senate and everybody in the State of the Union and their families.
Where's it located?
I think it's Virginia.
It is Virginia,
yeah.
Yes.
And
do you know how much it can hold? How many
It can hold the entire State of the Union address.
Yes.
Everybody. Congress, Senate, the Cabinet.
This is absolutely true.
The Supreme Court.
Yes.
And all of their families. And that's a facility just sitting there waiting for them to run into it. Fun time to have an open house when you got three CMEs coming. God, it's just like you can't, the blatant of it is just unbelievable.
And why didn't the other countries and observation corporations that are out there looking up at the stars, why did they not release this information?
That's an excellent question.
That's why it was really confusing to me.
It's just there must be some kind of lockdown when it comes to an ELV extension level event, is what this was,
Yes.
where they just not going to tell us anything. The whole world. I guess that's so they can all run to their bunkers.
Right.
That's nice, isn't it?
Well, thank God for that bump and wherever it came from.
Yeah. You know, there's something to be said on a very positive note about Jupiter and Saturn. They're Jovian planets, meaning they're gas planets. But because of their mass and their size,
Mass.
they got a gravity field that just won't